Hi guys, today I am talking about artichokes, all thing artichokes. So I love artichokes, but they can be kind of scary. I mean, look at this thing. So a lot of us buy them in jars, marinated in maybe water, but usually some kind of oil and herbs. And sometimes in a can. I've bought them canned before as well. But they're pretty easy to take care of once you understand how to handle them. So I keep getting stuck. They have these little thorns. They are actually the immature flower of a thistle plant. So if you've ever seen thistle has these little sharp points. So if you're going to serve this to someone, you're going to want to cut those little points off. Usually what I will do is cut the top inch off anyway, because you don't eat that part anyway. So let me get a plate to put my trimmings on. I'm also going to cut the stem pretty low. Let me talk about buying them. So when you buy them, you want them to be, the flowers to be pretty, the leaves to be pretty close, tight on there. You want it to be tight. This one, it's actually pretty tight. That brown is actually part of a leaf. And so that's actually fine. So I'm going to cut the end off. You want it to be dark green. It's okay to have some of this coloring on it. And it has some purple in there. I'm going to lift that leaf up so that I can get in there. They're pretty hard. And you can see inside the stalk here, and we can actually eat that part. We're going to eat the bottom part of the leaf. If you've never had an artichoke before, I'll show you how we eat it too. All right, so let me cut the bottoms off first. Throw that out, and then any loose leaves, pull those off. Most of these are pretty tight on there, so I'm not going to worry about those. Yeah, they're all, this is a nice artichoke. I'm going to cut about the top inch off of here. And then depending on how you're going to eat it, you're going to want to cut those little pointy parts off. So I have these scissors here that are only for food. I'm kind of cutting at an angle, but that's okay. I'm going to just throw this part out. Artichokes, you can see it, like the inside of a rose almost there. Artichokes are really good for you. They're very high in nutrition. All of the vitamins and minerals. They are a leafy green. Very high in fiber. There's been some studies on artichokes and blood pressure, and artichokes on cholesterol, and artichokes with blood sugar. But they're really good for you. They're very high in fiber. Don't get them confused with Jerusalem artichokes. I may have cut that one a little too low, but we'll find out. Jerusalem artichokes are different. Jerusalem artichokes are a different plant, and they look more like a knobby potato. And they're really good for the microbiome too. So totally different health benefits there. So with artichokes, you can steam them, you can boil them, you can roast them, you can saute them, you can braise them, all sorts of different methods. I'm going to use two methods today. Let me cut these sharp edges off. Today I am going to steam one of them to show you how I do that, and I'm going to roast the other one to show you what it looks like when you do one versus the other. Artichokes are in season. I'm here in the U.S., usually March through May. We do not grow them on our farm. As a kid, I used to love to eat them, probably because I liked the dip. They're really good if you dip them in like lemon and garlic. As a matter of fact, some people even put lemon on them before they cook them to keep them from turning brown. So they turn brown just like other fruits and vegetables. Sometimes they turn brown. That is from oxidation, just like a rusty car or a rusty bicycle. If your bike chain ever got rusty, it's from oxidation. And so an antioxidant is what's going to help it prevent that oxidation. So lemon juice is high in vitamin C, which is an antioxidant. So you could put that on it if you don't want it to turn brown. Doesn't matter to me if it turns brown. The way I always ate them as a kid is they were boiled, and you can boil them. The only thing is you lose so much of the vitamins and minerals in the boiling water, the cooking water, and I'd rather keep the nutrients in the food. And so that's why I prefer to steam most of my vegetables, or dry roast. Now, when you roast, you are cooking at a higher heat, which can damage some of the fragile vitamins too. So it's just choose which method suits you best. I actually roast most things just because I get home, I don't have a lot of time, and roasting is just quick and easy for me. You can see I'm kind of making a mess trimming all of these off. My family is very familiar with eating artichokes, so I'm not too worried about anyone getting stabbed by those pointy ends, and it actually isn't as, this one's not as pointy as that one was. So let me clean up all these little pieces here. Now you can steam it whole, or you can cut it in half. I'm going to cut it in half because I want you to see the inside. It's going to be a lot quicker to cook too if I cut it in half. All right, all those little pieces everywhere. All right, so let's cut it in half. Doesn't matter which one, no. They are kind of hard to cut, as you can see. There we go. You can see this beautiful inside of the artichoke. Now, we don't eat this fuzzy part right here, and I forgot to bring a spoon, and I'm all hooked up with my mic, so let me grab a teaspoon and see if I can use a teaspoon to get that fuzzy part out and show you what that looks like. Get a little plate so you can see it's really fuzzy. You see that? All the fuzz. It's hard to tell when I'm holding it this way what you can see. But that is why it's called artichoke. That could choke you if you ate that. There's nothing poisonous, so you're not going to be hurt if you eat it. That's not going to feel very good if you do consume it. You can see that pretty purple color coming off of there too. All right, pull all of that out. You can also pull it out after you cook it, because once again, I could have cooked it whole, and then that would have been in there on the inside when I cut it open to eat it. All right, so I'll get some of it. Some people will fill the inside with different things. You could put some garlic and herbs in there. That would be good. I don't cook with oil, but you could make some kind of paste with oil and herbs as well. So I'm going to stick this in my steamer basket. I'm going to put it cut side up. Do my other one. Actually, let's do one with it and one without so you can see the difference there. So I won't even scoop that one out. I'm just going to leave it in there, steam side up. Cut side up. All right, so here's my other one. I'm going to cut it in half as well. And I'm not going to take the fuzz out of it either. See, the best way to cut it. This one I'm going to cut side down. I have my oven preheated at 375 degrees. Okay, and you can see the inside. Beautiful. Hopefully where the lighting is right for you. I'm going to put it cut side down, and I'm going to roast it for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to stick a fork in it, and see if the fork goes all the way through, if it's tender, kind of like when you cook a baked potato or something like that. All right, so this is on parchment paper in the oven at 375. This is in my steamer basket. You could use a regular steamer basket. I have a steamer pan here. In my pot, I have water that is boiling. The water is only this deep. The water only comes to about right here. And so you can see my microwave, my microphone's in the way. And so the water is not going to touch this pan. That way it's going to steam correctly. All right, so while that cooks for 20 minutes, I have some soy milk and cashew milk to make. And so I'm going to take care of those. Okay, so let's see if they're fork tender first. You can see they turned brown. My fork is not going in the stem. Let's flip it. Almost there. this side, it can go in partially. I'm going to put it back in for about 10 more minutes. And let me check the steamer. Notice I did use some tongs. Let's see. Yes, that is nice and tender. My soya might kick on while I'm talking. Okay, to eat it, you just pull the leaf off, and you can see it has, we call it meat, it's not meat. It has this tender area right here, and you scrape it on your teeth to get that off. Now that one didn't have much on it. These outer ones usually don't have a lot of meat on them, but you can kind of see there. It's pretty hot. But it's really good if you dip it in some lemon or something like that. So this one we had left that fuzzy choke in there. I can't pick them up because they're too hot. Remember, this one was empty. This one is not. I didn't check to see if it is just as tender as the other one. So the cooking time was the same. And I would just serve it like that as well. You're not going to eat that fuzzy part. But what happens, I want to show you, but it's burning my fingers. If you cut all of that off right there, you can eat that entire piece. That's the artichoke heart. And so what I can do is just with my knife, kind of cut around, and then I'm kind of cheating. I'm kind of cutting all the meat off of those leaves. It's burning my fingers. It's better if you just peel the leaves off, and it's a lot more fun, especially for kids. Great way to get this wonderful nutrition in your kids. What kid does not like to eat finger foods like this, right? Actually, there are some with some sensory things that maybe they don't like it. But I always like to play with my food. Okay, so you can see I kind of cut it out. There, can you see that? And this is what I have here, just that chunk, and I can cut that up and eat it and dip it in different things. All right, so I'm gonna leave that for now. It's still so beautiful. I better eat these since they're here, and hopefully the other ones will be ready in a minute. Notice I'm not biting the leaf, I'm just scraping that meat off of the leaf. Has a little bit of a bitter flavor, which means it's activating different enzymes that help with the liver and the gallbladder. Okay, so I'll leave that while I wait for the other one. My water is boiling a little bit, but still, so I can't really show you. I was hoping I could show you. The water does have a green tint, so we did lose some into the water, but most of it is in the artichokes, even though it wasn't touching it. Some of the nutrients are lost into the water. Okay, let's see if they're fork tender yet. My fork's going in, but let's see. See if I can get a leaf off. It is not ready. If I can't pull a leaf off, it is not ready. Going back in. I know when we boil them, they usually take about 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm going back in. Okay, let me see if these are finished yet. Look, they're shriveling all up. There we go. Now the fork is getting through there. So you can see it's got that beautiful caramelization. Pull that out. Move my hot pan out of the way. There we go. So now I can cut into it. It's going to be a lot easier to cut that heart out. You can see, it's just so pretty. I want you to see that before I cut it all up. You can see the color, the beautiful brown right there. It's going to taste delicious. So if I can cut the heart. If you cut it like that, you don't want to just cut the heart out because that's going to ruin your presentation, right? Anyway, it's hard to do this on camera. See if I can pull some of the leaves off so you can see the meat on there. And then I can still just scrape it off. Yes, it's hot. And so good. Has more depth of flavor roasting it like that. Did take us a little bit longer. It's beautiful and delicious and nutritious. If you prepare artichokes, let me know. Like and share my videos, comment below, and let me know what else you would like to see and learn about. Post some pictures of your artichokes and let me know what method you chose. I'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe to my channel. Enjoy!